Hey everybody, I just have another thing to show you real quick tonight regarding phi. Something kind of interesting that the Egyptians left us, or whoever built those pyramids in the Giza complex. So it's actually kind of neat because it's telling us a little bit more about they knew what was going on as far as the earth goes. But if we take a look at these circles and squares, which seems to be a lot of what I'm finding regarding this stuff, it all has to do with polygons, squaring the circle. A lot of squaring the circle, because squaring the circle has to do with moving up levels. So I'll show you that in just a second. But right here, if you notice, this square, I'm on World Mysteries. It's sitting at the bottom of the circle here, and its points, or the other end of it, is touching the circle. So you have 1 from the bottom of the square to the middle of the circle, and then you have 1.618 to where it touches the circle right here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I've learned so far as these squares and circles go. It's not going to take very long, and then I'm going to show you what I found in Egypt. I thought I'd just give it a try and see what would happen, and sure enough, a new thing that I found that I thought was pretty cool. And I don't know if anybody else has found this or not, but just finding it myself was kind of neat. So here we go. So we're going to start out with our Metatron's cube, and we're actually going to move down 1 octave. So that means we need to add double the rings. And there's our rings. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these squares here real quick. And if you notice, for each circle, there's a square bounding that circle. But if you notice the corners as you move up here, they're not all uniform. They do different things on the way up. Okay, so it's kind of hard to put into words, but if you could imagine something coming into existence and think about geometry, you have this thing up here at the top coming into whatever existence we want to call ourselves, right? And then based on the geometry that you see as it moves down, it's telling you certain things. It's very hard to put into words, but it's telling you how it's coming into existence. Kind of neat. So anyway, this blue square is kind of interesting because this blue square is the first time you see the phi square, okay? So if you take a look at the outer circle and you take a look at the blue square, which is the third one down, now if I take that square and I just align it down here to the bottom, then you can see what it's doing here is it is touching both sides of the circle perfectly. This is our phi line right here, okay? So what I'll show you here is that I've got a phi square that I made from that. And we'll take that phi square and we'll move it down just like the other one. Okay, so as you can see, from the bottom of the square here to the middle of the circle is 1. And then from there to the edge of the circle here is the 1.618. So here's what's really interesting. So I decided to go ahead and pull up the Earth real quick, and then I lined right up on the equator, and I just went ahead and wanted to see what these squares and circles looked like on the Earth. And something really interesting happened because when I pointed it to where Egypt was in line. Let's see, here it is. So here's our equator, and you can see our equator is 1, right? So if we move up to 1 and then 1.618, and that is right up here where the Giza complex is in Egypt. I thought that was just really neat to see something like that. So that means that whoever put that complex there, or whoever did that stuff there, even was taking into account where it was located on the Earth as far as the number phi and stuff goes in relationship to the Earth. anyways, just pretty cool stuff. I wanted to show that to you. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.